Honestly, it is a little scary, especially if this picks up some traction and gets going.
Hey everyone, Travis Spear with Pine Financial Group. We work together so you succeed. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe, hit the notification button so you know when we put out new content. And if you have questions about the video, leave a comment below so we can answer them. Here today with Kevin Amos from Pine Financial Group, founder and president. And today we're going to talk about beating the iBuyer. You know, iBuyer's kind of become a buzzword most recently, and there could be some concerns of how it might change the real estate market or how it is changing the market right now. But Kevin's going to share a few points with us on how we can continue to be competitive. So if you're not familiar with the iBuyer, basically there's companies like Zillow, Offerpad, and Opendoor. Redfin's beginning to get into this market as well. And what they're doing is, let's say you want to sell your house, so you go to their site, you can enter some information, and they may make you an offer right there on the spot, or they may need to send somebody out to your house, walk through it, see the condition, and they'll make you an offer. The interesting thing about the iBuyer is kind of how flexible they are. They could close right away within a couple of days. They could close in 45, 60 days. They could give you a lease back. They could, if you have a property that needed some small repairs that you didn't want to make, or you didn't want to bring people into your house because you have big dogs or something, they can offer a solution to a perceived problem that you might have. So if you're a real estate agent or an investor, you might think, oh, this is a little scary, right? You've got these fintech companies coming out, and they've got huge wallets, and they're ready to buy real estate, and we're starting to see a little bit of our own market. So as a real estate agent, Kevin, should they be concerned about this?
Yeah, it is very scary. The iBuyer, instant buyer. It's like, as an agent or a real estate investor that works, or a real estate investor or an agent that works with investors, I mean, we want those, the competitive advantage has always been speed, right?
Sure.
So to hear instant buyer and someone like Zillow with all this money, it's very scary. But look, Zillow buys less than 2% of the offers it makes. Did you know that?
Wow. So they must be making a lot of offers.
They make a lot of offers. They're buying 2%, around 2% of that. It all started in Phoenix. Phoenix is like the hub for iBuyers. Did you know that only 6% of all transactions in Phoenix, where it all started, is from iBuyers?
Wow.
Did you know that it's less than 0.5% across the nation? This isn't this giant, huge monster that's attacking us, right? But it is something that we need to be aware of. If you're a real estate agent and you're worried about listings, there's two ways that you can work with the iBuyers. The first one, and we briefly talked about this, is you could refer them business. So if you have a client, let's say, that wants to sell a house, they need to sell it quickly, and you want them to sell it quickly so you could have them as a buyer and go find the next property, you could refer them to an Opendoor, for example. They say right on their website, we pay referral fees. They'll give you 1% for doing no work except for referral, and then you can go out and find a new home for the client.
Oh, that'd be a great tool if you had somebody who maybe was moving into a new construction property, or had maybe some things in their house that maybe maybe a minor amount of work, or maybe what if you inherited a property in a different market or something like that, right? There could be some opportunities to push these out.
Yeah, the dreaded 2 payments, right? You
Sure.
don't want to buy, you find your dream home, but you need to sell this one first, something like that.
Sure.
Another way to do it is Zillow, for example. They are a lead generating machine. That's how they don't actually make money. We all know that they're basically broke, but
Right.
they are a lead generating machine for sure, no questions, and they refer these leads out. So I just said they only buy 2% of the offers they make. In order for them to make an offer, they collect a tremendous amount of data on each seller that they could sell off or pass on to you, the real estate agent.
So there's an opportunity to benefit from an iBuyer by buying leads from them, because they're doing potentially the marketing work that some agents may not want to do.
Yeah, they'll say, this isn't going to work in our box, right? We're going to need to refer you to an agent. Here's an agent.
Okay.
So you could take on some of those clients. The real scary thing, and I think what most of our viewers are going to be concerned about, is the real estate investors. I mean, how does us fix and flippers compete with these iBuyers?
Yeah, I mean, that's immediately what I thought as it started to get some traction, is that wholesalers are out there negotiating deals directly with the sellers so that the wholesale buyer can get the best deal on the property. And so let's talk about that for a minute. So the wholesalers out there, they're sending mail, they're knocking on doors, they're doing these things to shake up these leads. But now you've got these websites that people can go to and potentially get an offer that way. So how does this going to work for real estate investors?
Honestly, it is a little scary, especially if this picks up some traction and gets going. Right now, I'm not too concerned with it, and the main reason is all the fees that they're charging it's between 6 and 10% of fees, and they come off the price a little bit. So is it enough of a discount for us, a fix and flipper? Not necessarily. But if we're looking for rental properties or some kind of owner carrier terms, we have much more flexibility. We could pay more than they can with all their fees added. So the first thing I would consider is if you're looking for nicer homes that don't need a lot of work, you can pay more than these iBuyers.
Sure. So when they're coming off the price a little bit and then they're taking their fees on top of that, which are typically what an agent would charge or more than. So there's an opportunity to come in and then be just as flexible, right?
Absolutely.
Depending on your financing, you could close tomorrow or we could close 45, 60 days from now, whatever might work best for the seller.
Yeah, exactly right.
Okay.
The other reason it's not quite as scary right now is they're not buying true fix and flips. The way the iBuying process works, if you have not been through that, is you fill out their documents, you give them a call, however you make the connection with the iBuyer. They likely will come out to the property, make you an offer right there on the table, like instant. Sometimes they'll do it right over the phone or online. But then they get it under contract, and then they do come out and do a quick inspection. And they're going to require one of two things almost every time, from what I understand. They're either going to ask you to do some of the repairs that you probably don't want to do anyways, because they only want to buy nice houses that they could resell quickly, or they're going to come off the price even further to account for any repairs that they're going to need to make.
Okay. And so they're looking for cookie cutter houses, potentially probably built after a certain year, that are not in huge need of rehab. And the rehab is how our clients add value to properties. So they're likely not looking at those properties.
Bingo. So if you're worried about the iBuyers, don't look at the pretty stuff. You want the really nasty, bad fixers.
Okay. What I think
I was looking for you to help me out.
Yeah.
there.
Okay. So one thing I think our viewers might find interesting, and we'll be sure to include this in the show notes, is I was reading an article not that long ago about Zillow's iBuying program and how many tens of millions of dollars they lost in one quarter doing this. So would you mind giving maybe a little bit of your insight there? Why are these companies willing to go out and lose money here? It kind of feels like when Uber started, right? And Uber was losing money on every
They're
ride.
losing money too. So
Right. And so, but it's like, once they get you hooked, you're not going to be able to go without it.
That's right. They've got a long-term focus. They're trying to build up, and then they'll turn into profit eventually, is the thought. So if they're collecting all of this data and they're generating leads, that's how they generate revenue. They're not generating revenue from their iBuying process, but they are generating a tremendous amount of leads.
Wow.
Did
Okay.
I say that correctly?
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us today on this video, and we look forward to bringing you more content every week. Thanks, Kevin.
Yep. Check us out, pinefinancialgroup.com.